Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got some new mods. Right, first the updates. Our first update is going to be the sugar beet processing plant by Vertex Design. In the changelog for that, it's got added animation for transport belts, adjusted production time, reduced cut sugar beet output by 5%. And then the second update is the JCB 419S by Ross and Mods. And in the changelog for that, it's got fixed steering wheel decal, fixed camera position and suspension, added twin wheels options, added manual gearbox option, added opening door and other minor bug fixes. Now, the first thing that we need to look at now is we've got a new map. This is called Breedel. It's by Thiloop, Thilulp. Thiloop. I apologise if I pronounced that wrong. 221.05 megabyte on the download, and this is based in a district in Breisellang in the beautiful Havelland in Germany. Excellent. Right, so we'll have a look at that in another video. Right, the first actual mod we've got, this is Sell Everything by Schultz Modding, 1.47 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu. So if we go into there, then under productions and selling points, we'll scroll back along. There we are. So there are 1,000 to buy each. There's two of them. So you got the container option, or you just got a selling grate. So obviously you go for whichever one you want. You can sell everything you can here. Obviously you pull over to the unloading point, and then away you go. And if you are selling wood, there's your sell wood option on the container version. And then on the standard grate one, obviously pull over again, then hit the sell wood. Excellent. I mean, we are going to have to try and find out if the new production change with the popcorn on that we looked at yesterday, whether that sells wood. But according to the website, it says that it will sell everything if the map allows it. So it should sell new stuff as well. Excellent. Right, next up we got Chicken Egg Tent. This is by Paolo 101299 and Castan 18, 2.76 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu again under productions and selling points. So we'll scroll back to find it. There we are. 1,500 to place down, and it's another area to sell your eggs. Obviously pull over by the icon and away you go. Right, next up is Double Walled Fuel Tank. This is by Michael LS, 3.46 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and then under buildings and containers. So there you are, 5.5 grand to buy. You place it down, so when you click on it, it then gives you the option to change the colour on the door. So that's right on the D-pad for me. So we'll go through all those different colours you can pick. Obviously you go for whichever one you want to. Then you've also got the option, you can fill the tank up. Open the door first, that'd be a good idea. There we are, refill silo. You can fill it up, so you don't have to go and get any diesel from the petrol station if you don't want to. You fill it up there, and then obviously you unload at that point. Now the website says it does need to have the door open for you to fill the tank, check the tank level, or refill your machine. That's a top little tip for you. Get the door open first and it's all good. Right, next up is Brick Blocks Medium Shed. This is by Michael LS again, 8.28 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and then under buildings and sheds. So we'll scroll to find it. There we are, 25 grand to buy. Obviously place it down and it's an area to put all your stuff under. So it's a decent sized area. Oh, the detail on the framework in the roof. That's alright, that is. And in the corner, you got this little bit here if you want to store a bit of root croppage on the go. Ah, that's alright, that is. Obviously, I've got the drive through both ends, and then the sides are open as well. Excellent. Right, next up, we've got the Small Concrete Shed, again by Michael LS, 5.85 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this again in the construction menu and under sheds. So we'll scroll along to find that. There we are, 14 grand to buy. Place it down. Obviously not as big as the other one we just seen, but being said, yeah, you get some tractors in there and smallish equipment. Bit of junk in the corner there. Ah, that's alright, that is. Right, next up we got Carport Workshop. This is by the Little Farmer, 2.02 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and under tools. So if we go into there you have it, £6 to buy. Place it down, and obviously we've had this style of shed before, but this adds the workshop trigger to it. So pull your vehicle into the hatch marker area, and obviously up to the spanner, click in there, and then away you go. Ah, I like that. Right, next up we got lamps electrovic. Let me try that again. Electrovic CSSR 60 to 90 years. This is by Macca, 3.77 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these in the construction menu and under decorations and lights. So we've got quite a few options with these. So if we go back to beginning, there you are. So the first batch are 10 each. Now that's for the taller ones. So these are like the roadside style ones, and then the shorter ones are more for the pavement sidewalk lighting options. So we've got the first one there, so the 444-2802, then you got the double, then we got the triple, then we got the 07 and the 07 double. These names are just proper random. Oh dear, oh dear. Double again, then we got the 03 and the 03 double, and the 05 and the 05. No, that's an 07. Alright, they're on to the shorter ones. These are 5 each, so obviously less material to make them up. So you got the 25 there, you got the 11, the 50, the 1, the 98, and the 0B. Is that B or an 8? I'll never know. That's a lot of numbers in them names. Obviously you place them down, get a bit of light on your farm in the dark nights. Obviously they should come on roughly about 6 o'clock ish. Yeah, a few lighting options for you. Right, next up is Pioneer Tent. This is by Vergamini Modding and Lost Gamer, 3.7 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and under farmhouses. So if we go back along there we are, 20 grand to buy. Place it down and do a bit of camping. Obviously you come up to that trigger, you can then sleep through to whichever hour of the morning, shall we say, up to 9 o'clock you want to. You want a camping function, camping style on the go for a bit of roleplay. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is something brilliant, absolutely brilliant. This is the portable sleep trigger by Schultz Modding, 0.15 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find this in the construction menu and then under farmhouses. So obviously I've had to sell that tent. So it's 100 to buy, and what this allows you to do is to basically sleep anywhere. This is ace. So if you come up to the zip side, you can get the open wardrobe option. If you then go around the other side, you get the sleep option, and you can then pick it up, chuck it in the back of, oh, nearly chucked it and rolled back out. Chuck it in the back of your truck, and then away you go. Excellent. You then pull up wherever you are. Pull up there like that. We'll get out, we'll jump on there, pick it up again. No, didn't pick it up right there. Right, pick it up. There we are. Chuck it down, and away we go. Going to sleep again. Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, that is. I do like that. Very nice. Right, next up we got small silo set. This is by Top Ace 888, 2.74 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these in the construction menu and under silos. So we'll scroll along to find them. There we are. So we've got 4 options here. So we've got the small harvest silo. That is 50 grand to buy and 500,000 litre capacity. We then got small bulk silo, which is 60 grand to buy and a 500,000 litre capacity. We then got small consumable silo, 40 grand to buy, 500,000 litre capacity, and then a small multi-fruit silo XL for 10 million litre. 10 million litre in that size, that space. 10 million litre capacity for 100 grand. So the small multi-fruit silo, it's saying there, is for storing bulk and liquid goods. Also accepts bales. Excellent. And then obviously the consumables, that's going to be for your seeds, fertilizer, lime and salt. Then bulk silo is for storing all bulk goods, except it also accepts bales. Interesting. And then this silo is for storing the harvesting goods for the original small one. So there's a few options there for you. That's all right. It is also, no, we'll go back into that. As part of this pack, there is silo extension for it. 30 grand to buy. Obviously, it does whatever the original silo is that you've bought. Gives you an extra 100,000 litres. Very nice. Right, next up we've got the new Aero grain silo. This is by a Prairie, 7.36 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and under silos. So there it is, 120 grand to buy. Place it down, gives you 200,000 litre capacity. So obviously you load your stuff in over the grate. Around the other side, you take it out into your trailer. I like that. I like that style. It says faithful replica of the new Aero grain silo NL4-15 with bucket elevator NBEL25 on the website. That's nicely detailed. Excellent. Right, next up we got Silo System Package. This is by Caster DS Agrar Service, 117.56 megabyte on the download. And there is 46 different parts to this pack. That is ridiculous. Right, we'll get started. So we'll go in the construction menu and under silos. So first up, you're going to want somewhere to load your stuff in. So you've got options there. You've got the large sale points, that's going to cost you 35 grand. You then got the small sale point, which is going to cost you 24 grand. So that's saying it'll hold 100,000 litres. And the large one does the same. And then what you're going to want to do then for the next part is go into silo extensions. So we'll scroll back. Oh dear, oh dear. There we are. Right, so we'll start with that one. So we have got, zoom out a little, container silo metal 20k. That's going to cost you 18 grand for 20,000 litre capacity. The second one, we've got the corner silo 30,000 litre capacity for 26 grand. We then got the 40k for 34 grand, 40,000 litre capacity. We then got the 50,000 litre capacity for 46 grand. We then got the round version, 20,000 for 16 grand. We then got 22 grand for 30,000, 31,000 for 40,000, and then 42 grand for 50,000 litre capacity. Then got type 2, which I don't know the difference between the two, to be honest. We got 20,000 again for 16 grand. We then got 30,000 for 22 grand, 31,000, 40,000 for 31 grand, and then 50,000 for 42 grand. Right, that's that part. That's your standard silo section. If we then go into containers, where we all start again. Right, so we've got here corner silo fodder 50,000. It's going to cost you 40 grand. And then the 20,000 litre capacity version is 14 grand. So that's going to do your pig food and your TMR. You then got a seed version. So 50,000 and then 20,000 again. So 45 grand and 14 grand. So that's the same as the previous ones. We then got lime, 45 grand and 14 grand. Same prices, same capacity. We then got a fertilizer version, same prices and same capacity. We then got round versions. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, so the round versions, this is for your fodder, so your TMR and your pig food. So it's 12 grand for a 20,000 litre capacity, 28 grand for a 35,000 litre capacity, and then 50,000 litres for 40 grand there. We then got seed version, obviously same prices and same capacities. We then got the lime version, again same prices and same capacities. We then got a fertilizer version, same prices, same capacities. And then we've got the fodder again, so your pig food and your TMR, same prices, same capacities. And then we've got the seed version, same prices and capacities. There's so many to this. We then got the lime version, and then we've got the fertilizer at the end. So that is a lot of silos for you to be getting on with. So obviously the first batch, so these ones here and these round ones, they are just standard silos. Obviously you hook them up to your loading in point there and they just store stuff. These here though, they're standalone. All these extra ones, you don't need to have that input point at the top, because you got your load in and load out point at the front. And you can also, on all of these, come up to the spanner, buy in whatever you want. Now I must say, I'm on this one here, it's got pig food 20,000 litres, 30,799. TMR 20,000 for 923. That's wow cheap. You might as well just fill up your trailer with that and then just go sell it. You'd make a fortune. That's brilliant. Let's check that one. Is that the same? No, saying that, that's 50,000 litres. 76 grand for the pig food. What about the round ones? Where's the round fodder ones? I just want to see them prices, if they're the same or not. Yeah, they are. These silos are wow cheap on that TMR. It may pay to have one of these down and buy it in for you. That's going to work out very nicely. Right, that's a big pack. Obviously, you pick whichever one you want to go for. Right, next up is the 3-point Bullbar. This is by Soto Modding Industries. 1.54 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under weights. So this is going to add 1 ton to the front of your tractor. So 1,200 to buy. The only option you've got is the main colour. So you go for whichever one you want. So we'll change it to a Fent Red. Obviously, 3-point hitch on the front. You need some weight to balance your tractor out. Could be alright, that is. I mean, even with that shape, you could push some bales out the way. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is drum weight. This is by Aero, 2.64 megabyte on the download, and you'll find this under weights. So it starts off with 650 kilo, 300 to buy. The options you got there are standard, almond motors, clever motors, Craftland Maschinen AG. My pronunciations is terrible. Then Motor X, Agco, Case IH, Class, Fiat, JCB, John Deere Highguard, New Holland, Voucher, Standard. That's where we started, wasn't it? And you can change only on the standard one, mind you. Change the main colour, does the top and the bottom. And then the design colour will do the middle part. Obviously 3-point hitch on there. Need a bit of weight on the front of your tractor. Obviously add a bit of branding if you want to keep it all in line with all your rest of your equipment. Right, next up we've got the Amazon ZATS. This is by Shardy and Homeless. 3.50 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under fertilizer spreaders. So this comes with a 1400 litre capacity, 42 metre working width and 11 mile an hour working speed. All that for the low price of 25 grand. You can then change that as you go from 1400 to 1700, 2000, 2600, 3200 and back to 1400. And then with all those you can have a cover on yes or no. So that's very nice indeed. Obviously I've used these before. I mean, like even with the 3200, if you've got a big field, that's not going to last you long, even though it does the 42 meters. So maybe you want a supplementary tank on the front of your front of your tractor. That should help out very nicely. Right, next up we've got the Converlion TLX GEO spreader pack. This is by Mephius and Proxim. It's 9.60 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under fertilizer spreaders. So it's in a pack, but there's only one in that mod. All right, we'll carry on. Right, so the options we got there, 1700 to start with on the literage capacity, 42 meter working width, 11 mile an hour working speed, all for 20 grand. You can then change the capacity, so we go 1700, 2800, 3900, then back to 1700. You can then add anti-mud guards, no or yes. And then you can add attachers, so you've got standard, with trailer hitch, or back to standard. So you can put the trailer hitch on the back there and tow something behind as well. Interesting. And then we've got the last option, transport wheels, no or yes. Puts a little dolly on the bottom. Ah, that's alright, that is. I mean, it's got larger capacity than the previous one we just seen, mind you. So that's 3,900. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is the KoKo 141. This is by Camillos 0397, 2.87 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this under trailers. So it starts off with 17,500 litre capacity. That's going to cost you 20 grand. Although that's saying an extra 2.5 grand. Oh, there we are. So the base literage capacity is 12,600. So it comes in at that one. So why didn't it just come in at the standard one then? All right, we'll carry on. So it starts off 12,600 for 17.5 grand. You can then change that to 17,500 litres, 22,500 litres, 24,500 litres, then back to 12,600. Usual shenanigans on the go with the wheel brands and the tyres. So we change the chassis colour. We'll go for a red. Changes the chassis. Design colour. It's going to change the actual container. Forgot the word then for a minute. Then extension colour, we'll put that as black so we can see it. So that's little parts on the side. And then rim colour, we'll go with a purple. Changes the rims. Oh, you need a trailer to transport your goods around in. That's alright, that is. Right, next up we got the Wilson Pacesetter spread axle. This is by Whiskey Sierra Modding, 9.16 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this on the trailers. So it starts off with a 60,000 litre capacity for 80 grand. Then the options we got no toolbox, where's it put the toolbox? Between the wheels, there we are. We've got design, so we've got stock mud flaps, 4 rear mud flaps, front and rear mud flaps. Then stock mud flaps, and we change the main colour. Oh, that's some nice colours on there. Let's go for red chrome. I like that. It's alright, that is nice and shiny. Then the rim colour obviously changed. Ooh, some more shiny ones. Chrome wheels. Yes, red chrome cyber chrome wheels. Excellent. You need a trailer and you've got a truck on the go. Get this combination. That looks brilliant. Right, next up is the Goval BTG Hy. This is by Agrar Design Austria, 2.50 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under front loader tools. So 1790 to buy to start with. We then got the options there, so it's wrapped bale handler as standard. We then got bale spike, then back to wrapped bale handler. Got decals, side, middle, or back to side, and then we got the, I've gone the wrong way. We've got the attacher type there, 3-point attacher, Euro and 3-point attacher, Hauer, then back to 3-point attacher. Obviously this is going to be used for your round bales. You're only going to get one on at a time, but if you're into your baling, this could be alright. Right, next up we've got the Lizard MKS Pack. This is by Landmensch, 7.44 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these under the animals section. So we've got the 13.5 and then the 16.5. So 13.5's got 13,500 litre capacity. 16.5, 16,500 litre capacity. And both will do liquid fertiliser, herbicide, milk and water. Now all the options are the same on both. It's just your tank capacity. So if we go into the 16.5. So this one starts off with mud flap deco 1, mud flap deco 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1, air hose black, air hose coloured, or back to black. You got Then you've got capacity, fertilizer and herbicide, milk and water. So obviously you choose whichever one you want to do. You got wheel setups, you got standard with steering axle or back to standard. Then main color, obviously any one of those will change the main tank. Design color is going to change the frame, and then rim color will change the rims. So obviously you do need to pick which one you want to do, fertilizer and herbicide or milk and water. But that's alright, that is. Right, next up we got the Fleegal flatbed semi-trailer. This is by Top Ace 888, 5.04 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this on the bale loaders. So this is going to cost you 28 grand to start with. Then the options, you've got no auto load, 36 square by 180. Okay, 36. Then we've got 30 for the bigger bales, 34 for the round bales, 30 for the larger round bales. Again, 26. Obviously, the larger that they are, the less you can get on the back. Obviously, you're going to want the auto load. So does that mean that it's only going to do certain bales depending on what you've gone for? So if you go for the 30 square, 2020 by 2040, does that mean you can't load round bales unless you go and get it adapted in the shop? Interesting. Then you've got your wheels and your tyres, usual shenanigans. You've got decal on the back. So we'll spin it round. It's got it in white, red, black, and then back to white. So it attaches. So you've got standard, trailer hitch, or you can get yourself a train on the go. Excellent. Chassis colour, we'll go with a JCB. Changes those parts. And the flatbed colour obviously changes the flatbed. And rim colour, we'll go with a pink. Because why not? Excellent. That is interesting on that bale selection at the top though. Is that going to affect what you can and can't pick up? Because obviously if you change your bale sizes from your baler, you may need to go and get this worked on. Interesting. Right, next up is the Horse Pronto DC. This is by Matt26, 12.7 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under Cedars. So it comes with a 5,000 litre tank. Requires 270 horsepower from your tractor, 9 meter working width and a 9 mile an hour working speed. So 104 grand to buy. You then got options there, ladder, type 1, type 2, then back to type 1. Obviously you go for whichever one you want. Wheel setup, no, yes, and then no. And the capacity, so it starts off with 5,000 litre, goes up to 7,000, and then back to 5,000. Obviously you got some seeding on the go. That's nicely detailed with all those hoses. I do like that. Especially after 7,000 litre capacity. That's ace. Right, next up is the Converlion CLE 430/5. This is by Tony and Mephius, 2.92 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this under subsoilers. So you're going to require 200 horsepower from your tractor. It's got a 4.3 meter working width and a 7 mile an hour working speed. And 15 grand, that is really cheap. Although it is on the small side, mind you. But there we are. We'll carry on. Obviously, you've got some subsoiling to do. This could be very nice indeed for you. Right, next up is the Fortuit B200 by AAA Modding, 5.61 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this under plows. Now this is going to require 80 horsepower from your tractor. And it's got a 2 meter working width. Oh, I thought we might have gone a day without having small stuff. Alright, we'll carry on. 7 mile an hour working speed is going to cost you 13 grand. The options you got there are standard, then brown, green, red, and then standard, and change the rim colours to any one of those 4. Alright, small plough, if that's what you're into, crack on. Right, next up is the Evers Brumby 7298. This is by Vertex Design, 9.2 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this under cultivators. This requires 140 horsepower from your tractor. It's got a 3 meter working width. Right, 9 mile an hour working speed. Going to cost you 15.5 grand to buy. There is no options. It comes as it is. Now, I know it's small, but then again, if you have got small fields, you're not going to want two big equipment on the go. So still 140 horsepower from your tractor. Alright, we'll carry on. Right, next up is the HW80 trailer pack by AAA Modding, 22.29 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these two under trailers. So we've got the 80.11 and the 80.11 SHA-8. So the 80.11 has got an 8 to 20,000 litre capacity, and the SHA-8 has got an 18.8 thousand litre capacity. So the 0.11 is going to do pretty much everything, but the SHA-8 is only going to do your usual forage stuff, so grass, sugarcane, wood chip, straw, silage, hay and chaff. So if we go into the 0.11, the options you got there are capacity, so we've got 8,000 as standard, 11,000, 11,000 with a cover, 14,000, 15,000, 20,000, and then back to, oh, bale trailer, interesting. And back to 8,000. So we'll put the roof on one, because I'd imagine that's going to be a colour option. So we'll change the wheel setups. You've got standard, different tyres again, narrow tyres, and back to standard. So main colour, we'll go with yellow, changes the main body. Chassis colour obviously changes the chassis. Cover colour changes the cover. Cover colour 2. That's pink, changes the actual mechanism on the front. And then rim colour, black rims, why not? That's definitely hurting my eyes, those colour combinations. Alright, we'll come out of that, we'll go back into this one. So the SHA-8, the options you got there, you got design standard, active side left, active side right, then back to standard. So wheel setup, it's going to be the same sort of thing, different style of tyres. And again, main colour changes the main body, chassis colour changes the chassis, and then rim colour changes the rims. So obviously, depending on what you want to go for, if you're doing your forage crop or you're doing the standard ones, all depends on which one you pick. Right, next up is the Robert Master Mix. This is by Paolo 5090R, 28.57 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under the animal section. So we've got the 17T and then the 17P, both the same price, both the same capacity and both the same horsepower requirement from your tractor, and they all use the same thing. Obviously it's going to be making your TMR for your cows. So if we go into the 17T, the options we got there, mixer cutters, so we've got metal, tungsten and metal. Usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Got tube ring, without, and then with, puts that on the top. And on loading mechanics, we've got standard, backdoor or standard. And we go into the 17P. So the same things again. Oh, that's interesting. It's got different options on the actual unloading door. Hold on, we'll come out, we'll go back in. There you are. Right, so front left door, front right door, double front doors, left door back, right back door, double back door, and left door front. So obviously, depending on which way you pull into your animal pasture, cow barn, whatever you want to call it, obviously depends on where it's going to come out. Oh, that's alright, that is. Right, next up is the Vader Stat Rapid 300C 400C. This is by Matt26, 21.14 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find both of these under Cedars. So the options you've got there are the 300 and the 400. The 300's got 3,100 litre capacity, 100 horsepower requirement from your tractor, 3 metre working width. Yeah, we'll carry on. 11 mile an hour working speed, and the 400. 130 horsepower requirement from your tractor, 4,300 litre capacity, 4 metre working width, not that much better mind you, but we'll carry on. 11 mile an hour working speed. The only option on both of them is to either have fertilisation off or on. That being said, I mean, I know I do go on about the small equipment, but these mods are very detailed. They are really nice, don't get me wrong. We'll carry on. Right, next up we got the JCB 435S This is by Redcat 3D and Pixel Design. 20.48 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under wheel loaders. So it's got 235 horsepower engine, 24 mile an hour top speed. Then you've got usual shenanigans on the go with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then you've got warning signs, none, stickers, signs, stickers and signs, and then none. Beacon lights, none. Left outside, left inside, right outside, right inside, left and right outside, left and right inside, and then back to none. Attaches standard, hydraulic back. Okay. And then back to standard. Then engine setup, got 235, 252, then back to 235. Change the main colour to any one of those three. Go red JCB. I don't know. Not sure if that sits right, to be fair. JCB should be that orangey yellow. And then wheel colour, you can either have the orange or grey. Definitely not sitting right with that red. No, I'm going to have to change it. I'm not going to be able to sleep at night if I leave it on the red. Right, we'll carry on. Right, and our last mod for the day. This is the MAN TGS Shortwood. This is by HR Forst and Fargzumbau. 18.19 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this under forestry vehicles. So it's got a 500 horsepower engine, 49 mile an hour top speed, and a 180 grand price tag to start with. So usual shenanigans on the go with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then got window shield, no or yes. Puts that little plate at the bottom. Roof bar, no or yes. Then lights, then back to no. Bullbar, no, yes. Lights, then back to no. Change the cabin colour to any one of those. Well, pink, why not? Claw colour, we'll go with a nice bright green, changes the claw. Crane colour, we'll go with a blue, changes the colour of the crane. Stanchion colour, brown, why not? Then rim colour obviously changes the colour of the rims. Right, let's back out of that. So if we start it off, give it a bit of a toot. So first off, you want to do LB if you're on Xbox like me in A. That will unfold the crane part on the back. Puts the little support legs out. And go through all its animation of unfolding itself. And we're ready. Right, so if we do LB and right stick left and right, obviously spins it around left and right. LB and right stick up and down, moves the boom in and out. And I'm terrible at these cranes. RB and right stick up and down, obviously moves it up and down. LB and RB right stick left and right, spins it around. LB and RB and right stick up and down, moves the grabs in and out. The only other option, fold it all back in. When you're ready. There we are, we can fasten the safety belts and then away we go. There you have it. If you're into your forestry, built-in crane on the back of your log trailer. Excellent. That's the last mod for the day, so that's it, done and dusted. Drop it in the comments below which one's your favourite, which one you're thinking of using. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, it's muchly appreciated. But for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.